It was a simple Christmas job, but its impact on the cold-hearted billionaire who had long lost value for family is lasting. Before we dive into the story, tell us where you are listening from. And please do rate the story from 0 to 10. Merry Christmas to you and your loved ones. Snow fell differently in the city. It wasn't soft or magical. It was wet, heavy, and mean, clinging to coats, soaking through worn shoes, and turning sidewalks into slippery traps. By the time Sandra Ellis reached the wrought iron gates of Hawthorne Estate, her toes were numb and her patience very thin. She checked the address again. It was right. She exhaled, adjusting the borrowed coat that was 2 sizes too big, and pressed the intercom. Yes. A male voice said. It was deep and clipped. Not unkind but not warm either. My name is Sandra Ellis. I'm here about the temporary Christmas contract. The pause. Then the gates slid open. Sandra walked through, dragging her small suitcase behind her. The estate wasn't lit like a holiday movie. No glowing reindeer. No overdone decorations. Just white lights along the path, clean and restrained, like whoever lived here didn't believe in showing off, even though he could afford to. She rang the front bell. The door opened to a man in his mid-30s, tall, dark-haired, wearing a black sweater and jeans. His eyes were sharp and observant, like someone used to assessing risk. You are early, he said. The bus was on time, she replied. Miracle of the season, I guess. Something almost like a smile tugged at his mouth. I'm Alex Hawthorne, he said. Come in. It's freezing. Warmth hit her immediately. She stepped inside the warm and cozy interior, suddenly aware of how small she felt. This is a short-term position, Alex continued, walking ahead. 2 weeks. Cooking, light housekeeping, managing the holiday event schedule. You leave the day after Christmas. That's fine, Sandra said quickly. I don't need long-term. He stopped and turned. Good, he said. Neither do I. They stared at each other for half a second too long, 2 people quietly confirming boundaries. The house was elegant but no family photos. No decorations and no tree. You don't celebrate? Sandra asked a little surprised. Alex hesitated, then shook his head. Not anymore. His tone told her that was enough. He showed her to the kitchen, then the guest room she'd be staying in. It was warm and comfortable, just what she'd hoped for. You will be paid weekly, he said. No parties or guests without notice. And I don't have any friends coming over. I don't either, Sandra said. That earned her a nod. What he didn't ask, and what she didn't volunteer, was why she'd taken a job so far from the city, right before Christmas. The truth was simple. Her heating had been shut off. Her mother's medical bills were overdue. And she had discovered pride didn't keep you warm. So she'd gone through vacancies until she had seen this opening, which turned out to be exactly what she needed. The first few days passed quietly. Sandra worked efficiently, not trying to impress, just being herself. Alex noticed anyway. You cook like someone who is auditioning for a contest, he remarked one night. She didn't look up from the stove but smiled faintly. People who cook for contests do it for fame. I cook because I love to. He watched her for a moment longer than necessary, then left without a word. The first crack came on December 15th. A package arrived, addressed to Alex, from a charity foundation. Sandra handed it to him without comment. He stared at it. Do you volunteer? She asked curiously. No, he said. I donate so I don't have to. That was honest, at least. Why don't you? I'm sure you would enjoy it. I have better things to do. She wanted to tell him volunteer work was the best thing anyone could do, but she kept silent. The next morning, a Christmas tree arrived at the front door. It was huge and Sandra grinned broadly, thinking how much fun she would have decorating it. But Alex's reaction when he walked through the front door that evening changed her mood. I didn't ask you to order a tree. He snapped. I didn't. I thought you did. He frowned. Of course I didn't. And if you didn't, who did? As if to answer the question, his phone rang. He looked at it angrily, then stormed upstairs to his bedroom. Puzzled, Sandra began cleaning. As she passed his bedroom, she heard his angry voice and paused to listen. I can't believe you think a tree would undo every hurt, I have told you before, I am not interested in reconciliation. And I mean no, I am not coming." She heard him approach and hurried to the living room. He stomped in fuming. "Burn that stupid thing," he said, pointing to the tree. "But Mr. Hawthorne, I was thinking of decorating it and dash. I said get rid of it," he shouted and stormed out. Sandra flinched a little. In the few days she'd known him, he had never raised his voice. She wondered what about the tree had made him so mad. The next morning he left earlier than usual, clearly too embarrassed to face her after his outburst the previous day. She finished her chores as usual, and by afternoon she decided to call and have the tree removed. It would have looked so beautiful decorated, she thought, looking wistfully at the box of decorations besides it. She decided to decorate it, then take them down and get rid of it. She got to work immediately, smiling as she made the tree beautiful. She was halfway done when she heard, "You didn't obey me." She turned round so fast she was dizzy. Alex stood there, leaning against the door, looking at her with narrowed eyes. Her eyes widened and she stood up immediately, blurting out apologies. Alex raised a commanding hand. "I was very clear when I told you to get rid of the tree. But you haven't, instead you are decorating it." He eyed the tree, his expression unreadable. "I'm going to get rid of it right now. I just wanted to have the feel of decorating. It's been years since." Sandra stammered in panic. "I'm glad you ignored me." She stopped mid-sentence and stared at him in surprise. "I was wrong to ask you to get rid of it, and wrong to have yelled at you, I'm sorry." He walked towards her, eyes still on the tree. "You have done a great job. The living room feels different with this tree, almost magical." She smiled, relieved and puzzled by his change. "You are home early," she said gently. "Friday is half day at the company. Why not join me in finishing the tree?" He looked shocked. "Me? Just decorating is more fun when done as a team." She handed him a decoration. He took it awkwardly and joined her at the tree. "I forgot how fun this could be." She giggled. "But don't you usually have Christmas trees?" "We did. Every year. But in the last 5, after my dad died, money got tighter and Christmas trees were the least or my thoughts." "I'm sorry about that," he said sympathetically. "Your mom?" The question hung in the air. He saw her look of discomfort and let it go. "You are doing well for a first-timer," she said softly, breaking the silence. He smiled. "I'm not a first-timer. We've had trees every Christmas in the Hawthorne home even before I was born. Decorating them was a family tradition. I was an expert." "So you did celebrate Christmas. What happened to make you stop?" It was his turn to leave the question hanging. The silence that followed was so heavy it seems to press them down. They decorated in frosty silence that soon warmed. And that was the moment Sandra realized this Christmas job wasn't going to stay simple. And the thought scared and excited her. By the second week, the house had changed. Not in the way holiday movies promised. No sudden warmth spilling from every corner or laughter echoing down the halls. The change was quieter. Subtle. The kind you noticed only when you'd lived inside silence long enough to recognize when it shifted. Sandra found herself humming while she worked. She didn't realize it until Alex paused in the doorway one morning, listening. "You're in a good mood," he said. She was startled, then shrugged. "I hum from habit. It makes time move faster." He nodded like he understood that better than she expected. The tree still stood decorated in the living room. Alex hadn't said it, but the look in his eyes whenever he passed it told her having it there brought back memories that were both sweet and sour. Sandra wondered but didn't ask. Some questions should never be asked. Boundaries had to be maintained. Alex maintained them very well. He would leave early for work and come home late. Sandra noticed the deliberate way he gave her space in the evenings, disappearing into his study while she cleaned or cooked. He never lingered unnecessarily. Never crossed the line. And yet, he was beginning to soften noticeably. He drank the tea she brewed before bed instead of his usual whiskey. He asked her what kind of music she liked and played it softly through the house while she worked. He fixed the loose step on the back stairs without her asking. None of it felt like charity. It felt careful. Another phone call came on December 18th. Sandra was in the pantry when she heard Alex's voice tighten. She didn't mean to listen, but walls carried sound. "I told you I wasn't coming," he said. "No, I won't explain myself again. 'Cause he don't need my forgiveness." Another pause, longer. Christmas doesn't undo the past. Silence followed. When Alex emerged, his face was controlled but set. "Are you okay?" she asked carefully. "No," he slumped at the kitchen table. She poured him a cup of coffee. "Family troubles?" Sandra asked before she could stop herself. He looked surprised, then nodded. "I'm sorry about that. I didn't even know you had a family." "I did," he said. "I still do. I just don't belong to them anymore." She understood that kind of belonging, the kind that came with conditions. "I'm sorry," she said again. He studied her for a moment. "Don't be." Distance was the healthiest thing I ever chose. That night, Sandra's sister called. The hospital had moved their mother's surgery up. "We need the deposit by Friday," her sister said, "or they will delay again." Sandra stared at the wall, the numbers running through her head like a cruel joke. "I'll figure it out," she said. She didn't sleep. The next morning, Alex noticed. "You're upset," he said quietly over breakfast. "I'm just tired." "Sandra." The way he said her name made it hard to lie. She exhaled slowly. "My mom's sick. I took this job because I needed to pay for her medical bills. But now..." He nodded once. "How much?" She stiffened. "I didn't tell you so you'd fix it." "I know," he said calmly. "That's why I'm asking." She hesitated, then gave him the number. He didn't react, didn't flinch. "I can advance you some money," he said. "No strings. No obligation." Her throat burned. "I'll pay it back." "You already have." "How?" "By reminding me there are still some things to smile for." She smiled herself. "I don't know how I did it, but I'm glad I did." The snow fell harder the next day. Sandra stood by the window watching it pile up, thinking of her mother alone in a hospital room. She wished she could be with her, but was comforted too with the thought that her hard work was finally paying off. She looked at the bare trees, then the calendar that counted down to December 26th. Alex joined her. "I'm hosting a small dinner on Christmas Eve," he said. "Board members. A few donors." Her stomach tightened. "You didn't mention that earlier." "I wasn't sure I'd go through with it," he admitted. "But it's expected." She nodded. "What do you need from me?" He looked at her then, not as an employer, not as a man used to being obeyed. "I need you to be there to help supervise the servers I'll be hiring," he said. "Not as staff, but as my assistant." Her heart stuttered. "Alex," he added, "you are the only one I can trust to do a good job." He added. The house felt suddenly too quiet. "I'll try my best not to disappoint you," she said. "I know you will," he agreed. They smiled gently at each other. Outside, snow blanketed the ground, softening everything it touched. Inside, two people stood at the edge of something warm and pleasant. And Christmas was 6 days away. The dress arrived 2 days before Christmas Eve. It wasn't extravagant. No sequins. No dramatic cut. Just a deep green fabric that fell cleanly and elegantly, like it had been chosen by someone who understood restraint. Sandra stared at it for a long time before folding the garment bag shut. Then she knocked on Alex's study door. "I saw the dress," she said. He looked up from his laptop. "I hope you like it. I can get you something else if you don't." "It is beautiful, but why?" "I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I have enough dresses." "I know, I just doubt you have one suitable to wear at a dinner party." "If I'm going to work, then I don't need one." "If," he said meaningfully. "What will I be doing there exactly? I need to know what this is about." He leaned back, considering her carefully. "It's a dinner," he said. "And I want you there to supervise, like I said. But I may need you to act as a kind of fiancé." He held up his hand to stop her protest. "I said some people may be coming and I have to look like I'm in a steady relationship. Who is best to play the role of a fiancé than you? I promise to pay you extra. It's not about money dash. Okay, do it for a friend." "Are we friends now?" she asked, eyebrows raised. Aren't we? What happens after Christmas? She asked. His face fell. After Christmas, your contract ends. Like agreed. Okay, she said quietly. Then I'll do it. Christmas Eve arrived wrapped in snow and expectation. The house buzzed with staff and quiet music. Candles were lit. The tree stood in the middle of the room, looking magical but simple. Sandra changed slowly, her hands steady even as her thoughts raced. When she stepped into the hallway, Alex looked up and stopped short. Not because she looked like someone else, because she still looked like herself, just seen. You look lovely? He said softly. She smiled. Thank you. They went to join the party. It was a small but lively affair. Eyes turned as they entered, and many lingered on Sandra longer than politeness allowed. Questions were wrapped in compliments. Curiosity pressed at her from every direction. A couple of times Alex introduced her as his fiancée to some guests and they looked impressed and envious. How long have you two known each other? Someone asked. Alex answered without hesitation. Long enough. Another guest smiled too sharply. And what do you do, Sandra? She didn't look at Alex. I manage operations, she said calmly. I've learned to spot inefficiencies most people ignore. The man blinked, clearly unprepared. Alex didn't interrupt. He didn't correct her. He let her stand on her own. Halfway through the evening, the comment came. Not loud, not public, just cruel enough. I thought you were hired help, a man murmured as they passed near the fireplace. Sandra froze. The room seemed to tilt. Before she could respond, Alex stopped walking. He turned slowly, deliberately. You thought wrong. And if you can't manage basic respect, you should leave, he said, his voice calm but unyielding. The man looked embarrassed and kept quiet. Sandra stared at Alex, who gave her a "won't let the miss" look. The party continued uneventfully. Later, as snow fell outside, Sandra stood alone on the terrace, breathing in the cold. Alex joined her, offering a glass of water. I'm sorry, he said. Some people can be Grinches. It's okay. I kind of enjoyed play acting. Reminds me of my school Christmas plays. He laughed. Me too. They stood there, close enough. I leave in 2 days, Sandra said. I know. She turned to him. I get to keep the dress? Are you even asking? He said. Snow settled on the railing, soft and quiet. You know you can come over and visit as a friend, he added quickly and grinned. I don't have a lot of them. Or family either. He fell silent. Look, I don't know what happened, but if they reached out to gift you a tree, it means they really want to make amends. Why not give them a chance? Family is family. She smiled a little. No matter how annoying they sometimes are. He sighed. I want to. Honestly, I kind of miss them too. But I don't know how to go about it. Having breakfast with them on Christmas Day is a start. He smiled at her. Once again, another good idea from you. But you didn't answer my question. His voice softened. Will you visit as a friend? She lowered her eyes, a slight frown on her face that worried him. Then she looked up, smiling mischievously. Try and stop me. They both laughed. The day arrived without ceremony. No alarm rang. No dramatic final moment announced itself. It simply came, slipping into the house like any other morning, cool and still. Sandra packed slowly. She folded her clothes with deliberate care, smoothing each crease as though the act itself mattered. Every shirt was placed precisely. Shoes were wrapped. Toiletries sealed. When she reached the green dress, she paused. It had been the dress Alex chose for her. Simple, elegant, nothing extravagant. She held it for a moment, then folded it more carefully than the rest and placed it on top of everything else. When she was done, she set her keys neatly on the dresser. The room looked exactly as it had when she arrived. Untouched. Welcoming. No trace of her presence beyond the faint scent of soap and winter air. That felt right. Downstairs, Alex waited in the kitchen. 2 mugs of coffee sat on the counter, steam curling lazily upward. He stood by the window, hands in his pockets, watching the pale morning light stretch across the lawn. He didn't pretend this was just another morning. I'll call a car, he said when she entered. Sandra shook her head. I'll take the bus. It helps me think. He didn't argue. He nodded once, accepting the choice the way he had learned to accept many things lately. Then I'll walk you to the gate. They moved through the house together, side by side, without much conversation. There was nothing left that needed explanation. The Christmas tree still stood in the corner of the living room. Its lights were off now. Without them, it was just a tree, real, grounded, and temporary. Pine needles dusted the floor beneath it, quiet evidence of time passing. At the door, Alex stopped. This is where I say thank you, he said. Sandra turned to face him. For what? For doing the job, he replied. For staying honest. For being a friend. Her chest tightened, but she didn't look away. And thank you, she replied softly. You never made me feel small. That mattered to me more than you know. They stood close enough to feel the warmth of each other's presence, far enough to respect the line they had never crossed. I meant what I said, Alex added. I want us to be friends. No obligations. No expectations. Just genuine friendship. Sandra smiled, a real one. And I meant what I said too. Melt the ice. Reach out to your family. Let love back into your life. He returned the smile. I will. I promise. Outside, the cold hit her sharply. She pulled her coat tighter as they walked toward the gate. Frost crunched beneath their shoes. Once my mom is better, Sandra said, I'll be starting something new. A full-time role in operations support for a small startup. It won't be glamorous, but a start. I'm glad, Alex replied, and she believed him. If you ever need a referral, I'll be happy to help. Thank you. She hesitated, then added, but if we ever see each other again, I don't want it to be because you needed help or I needed money. He stopped walking and looked at her steadily. Then it won't be. They didn't kiss. They didn't make promises they couldn't keep. They simply parted, leaving him standing at the gate, the house behind him quiet once more, loneliness returning, but this time softened by something unfamiliar. 3 months passed. Life moved forward, unevenly but honestly. Alex sat in his study one evening, reviewing documents he barely noticed. The house was quieter than it had ever been, but it no longer felt hollow. He had taken Sandra's advice, reached out to his family, sat through awkward dinners, listened more than he spoke, and opened himself to love and hope. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and it felt right. His phone rang. He glanced at the screen and froze. Sandra. Hey, her voice came through, brighter than he remembered. How's it going? His heart skipped, unguarded and sudden. Hey, he said, smiling despite himself. I would have called first, but I didn't want you to feel pressured. I appreciate that, she said. A lot has been going on. Same here, he replied. Then, before he could overthink it, how about I take you to dinner and we exchange news? There was a pause, just long enough to make his pulse spike. I would love that, she said softly. By 7 that evening, they were sitting across from each other in a small, warmly lit restaurant. Nothing extravagant. No spectacle. Just quiet, clinking glasses and murmured conversations around them. They talked easily, about work, about her mother's recovery, about the strange comfort of finding stability again. Smiles came naturally. Laughter too. You've changed, Alex said finally. You're more relaxed. My mom is home now, Sandra replied, smiling. Recovering faster than anyone expected. So I'm moving on with my life. She studied him. You've changed too. You looked lighter, less moody. He chuckled. I took your advice. Reached out to my family. We had dinner. It was awkward at first, but it got better as the evening went on. Her eyes warmed. I'm glad. You were right, he said quietly. Family matters. I won't forget that again. I'm happy I had a positive influence on you. You did, Alex said. Then he took a breath, steadying himself. Which is why I want us to be more than friends, if you don't mind. The question lingered between them. Sandra didn't answer immediately. She thought of everything she had survived, everything she had rebuilt. She thought of boundaries, of choice, of timing. Then she nodded. Yes, she said. We can. I would really like that. Relief flooded his face, unrestrained, genuine. They raised their glasses, the sounds soft but certain. To beginnings, Alex said. To something real, Sandra replied. And for the first time, neither of them felt like they were borrowing happiness. Because they knew they were building something magical.